How do I emotionally prepare for the moment my loved one doesn't recognise me?
This is often a very common fear when people come into a memory clinic. I think people often associate dementia with my loved one not being able to recognise me. So for some people, this may never happen. It just depends on the person. I think what we would say is people will remember, they may not remember your name, and they may not remember that you are husband, wife, son or daughter eventually, but what people will remember is how they feel with you. So being relaxed with that person, introducing yourself, saying, hi mum, it's me, it's Michelle, I'm here to see you today. And then having, focusing a conversation onto something that they would like and listening to the questions they may have about who you are respectfully. But it really is, people will remember how they have felt with you. Is this a safe person? Is this someone I feel comfortable with? So seeing beyond, again, this is very painful. So we want to validate for the relative if this happens, when it happens. But it's also not a foregone, this will happen as well, just to kind of say that too.
Usually when I visit our clients at home and they would call me any names, and really I introduce myself and they say, okay, sorry, what was your name? And the daughter or the son, they might say, Mom, it's Paschalina. And I say, it's okay, I reply to any names. So this, and then they start smiling about it, and some of them say, maybe we should get used to that. And that's okay. It's okay not to remember your name. It's okay not to recognize your face. And what typically happens is, if you bring them a photo album, they would recognize their children when they were young, and then the adult that they have in front of them, they cannot relate because really they are living like 30 years ago. So how were you looking? What was your face like 30 years ago? Was it like today? Well, mine is the same, I could say. But was it like today, or was it a bit different, right? So they are trying to relate to the person that they see, but they cannot. So if you open the photo album and you say, this is me, they say, oh, is that you really? Is that you really? They often say that. So that's how you connect. Also, having a photo of you, like a little board, right? A little board with photos of the people who are related to the person, like the children, maybe the grandchildren, and their names, like this is your first grandchild, this is your second grandchild, and the names and big photos. And then they can go in there and reconnect, because that part of reconnection is quite vital.
I think the other thing to say on this is it may vary. The moment my loved one doesn't recognize me, it's not necessarily a fixed experience either. A person may have a bad day and not recognize you in that day on that moment, but it might not be something that reoccurs. There might be an infection, there might be something else going on that's contributing as well. What I'd also say too is of course we need to prepare and plan for the future, but if we're so living in the future, what if we're missing out on the what is right now? They do recognize you, so go with that right now. So we want to do preparation, but not miss out on them recognizing you here today and being in those moments as well.
Provide lots of cues. Always say who you are at every opportunity. When you walk through the door, introduce yourself. You might think it's not necessary, but it provides a cue. Tricia will say, who's that that's just come in? And you'll have to explain that it's somebody she's seen dozens of times before. Recognise that it's your fear, not hers.
And the way to manage fear is to confront it and do it anyway, and then you realise you can get through it.
Peter Berry, quite a famous person in the world of Alzheimer's in the UK, so he also wrote a book. He was doing a lecture in our university, and he was saying, people will often say that, you suffer with dementia. And I'm telling them, I'm not suffering. My wife might be suffering, my children might be suffering. I am not suffering. And that's quite a big thing. We do not understand that most of the emotions that we feel for a person living with dementia come from us. Yes. We reflect our emotions on them. And if I feel okay about it, everything is good. And that's how you can keep the relationship and not have the person being isolated from relationships.